There are moments when time doesn't move forward, but instead quietly folds in on itself, usually when you least expect it, like when an old song begins to play in the background and suddenly you're not really listening to the music anymore, you're listening to yourself from another time, another version of you who felt lighter, less burdened, less aware of how heavy life could eventually become. Maybe it happens when you open your gallery and scroll through old photos, noticing how different everything looks. The clothes, the places, the faces. But more than that, you notice how you look, how there's a softness in your eyes that feels unfamiliar now, as if that person belonged to a world where stress hadn't fully learned your name yet. And as you sit there, half smiling and half hurting, a quiet thought forms without asking permission. Those were the good days. The present, in comparison, feels dull and gray, weighed down by responsibility, pressure, constant thinking, and an endless list of things that need to be handled, fixed, or worried about. And you begin to wonder how life went from feeling so colorful to feeling like something you're just trying to get through. But what if the past isn't as perfect as it feels? And what if your mind is telling you a story, not to deceive you, but to protect you? Psychology has a name for this tendency, and it's called rosy retrospection, which simply means that our brain has a habit of remembering past experiences as more positive than they actually were. Not because those moments were flawless, but because distance softens memory in a way that reality never allows. When you lived those days in real time, you were still confused, still insecure, still facing problems that felt overwhelming back then. But your mind has quietly removed those uncomfortable details, leaving behind only the warmth, the laughter, the sense of safety and familiarity, like a photographer who carefully adjusts the lighting until everything looks gentler than it ever truly was. In this way, your brain becomes a kind of editor, cutting out the boredom, the loneliness, the fear of not knowing what you were doing with your life, and keeping only the scenes that make you feel calm, connected, and emotionally held, because remembering pain in full detail serves no purpose once it has passed. This is also where another psychological process quietly steps in, something known as the fading affect bias, which explains why negative emotions attached to memories tend to fade faster than positive ones, allowing your mind to slowly release distress while holding on to joy, not as a mistake, but as an act of emotional survival. Your brain does this because it was never designed to be a perfect archive of truth, but rather a system that helps you move forward without being crushed by everything you've ever felt. And so, over time, the sharp edges of old struggles are smoothed down until they barely register, while moments of happiness remain vivid and inviting. The reason the present feels so much heavier then is not because it is worse, but because you are inside it, experiencing it without the comfort of distance, feeling every responsibility, every uncertainty, every expectation in real time, without the soft filter that time eventually places over memory. Back then, you didn't yet know what you would lose, what would change, who would drift away, or how complicated life could become. And there was a certain quiet freedom in that unawareness, a sense of safety that came from not constantly measuring yourself against outcomes, progress, or the future. Now, your mind knows too much, and when life becomes overwhelming, it instinctively travels backward, not because you want to live in the past, but because the past feels like a place where nothing is demanded from you anymore, where you don't have to decide, prove, or survive. You simply remember. But living too long in this mental time travel comes with a hidden cost, because when your mind repeatedly returns to yesterday for comfort, it slowly convinces you that the best parts of life have already passed, that joy belongs to a younger version of you, and that everything ahead is just obligation and endurance. This belief quietly drains the present of its meaning, making you anxious about time slipping away and disconnected from moments that could otherwise feel gentle and alive, because no real experience can compete with a memory that has been carefully edited to include only what feels safe. The truth is, the good days were never good because of the time period they existed in, but because of how present you were within them, how deeply you noticed small details, how naturally you allowed yourself to feel without constantly evaluating or rushing toward the next thing. Those qualities did not disappear with age or responsibility. They simply became quieter beneath the noise of adult life, waiting for space to return.
And the shift you need is not about recreating the past, but about offering the present the same patience and attention you unknowingly gave to those memories. When you slow down just enough to drink something warm without distraction, to listen to music without multitasking, to notice light moving across a wall or wind brushing past your skin, you are not escaping into nostalgia, but creating moments that your future mind will one day look back on with the same softness. Because one day, without warning, this very phase of your life will become a memory too, and your mind will gently remove the stress and uncertainty, leaving behind only the quiet strength it took to keep going, the lessons you learned, and the version of you who survived days you once thought you wouldn't. And when that happens, you may realize that the good days were never gone at all. You were simply living inside them before you knew how they would be remembered. If this reflection brought you a sense of calm or understanding, then this space is for you. And here on Calm Mind, we take our time with thoughts like these, allowing clarity to arrive slowly, without force. Stay here, breathe deeply, and if you'd like more stories that help you understand your mind with kindness rather than judgment, consider subscribing, because your mind deserves gentleness, especially from itself.